Have you ever felt truly, utterly small? Not just in the physical sense, but in a way that stirs something deep inside you. A sense of wonder, humility, and connection to the world around you? Not in a frightening way, but in a manner that makes you feel part of something immeasurably vast and ancient. It's a feeling that reminds you of your place in the grand tapestry of nature, where every mountain, every glacier, and every gust of wind has a story older than memory. Imagine a wind that carries the scent of pure, cold air, a silence so profound it seems to hum with the secrets of the earth. Here, the only sounds are the crunch of your boots on ancient ice and the distant call of a bird, echoing across the frozen expanse. This is Iceland, a land where fire and ice have danced for millennia, where the planet feels alive, breathing in slow, icy breaths. Volcanoes and glaciers shape the land in a never-ending cycle, forging a landscape that is both harsh and breathtakingly beautiful. Standing on the edge of a mighty glacier, you're not just a tourist, you're a witness to deep time, a spectator to nature's most magnificent theater. The ice beneath your feet has traveled for centuries, carrying with it the memory of ages past. The journey here is a pilgrimage to the heart of our world's raw, untamed beauty. Each step brings you closer to the wild spirit of Iceland, a place where the elements rule and the landscape is ever-changing. As you approach, what looks like a white smudge on the horizon becomes a colossal river of ice, fissured with blue crevasses and dusted with volcanic ash. The glacier's surface tells a story of eruptions, storms, and the relentless passage of time. To stand before one is to feel a profound humility, a quiet awe that lingers long after you've left. It's a moment that etches itself into your memory, reminding you of the power and fragility of our planet. So come along, let's travel together to the land of sagas and ice, and perhaps, in feeling small, we'll discover something enormous within ourselves, a sense of belonging to the wild, beautiful world we call home. To describe an Icelandic glacier is to attempt to capture a symphony with words. The ice dazzles in a spectrum of blues, from delicate sky to deep sapphire, colors born from centuries of compression. Sunlight penetrates the pure ice, reflecting blue back to your eyes, like looking into the soul of winter. Listen, the gentle trickle of meltwater, the sudden crack of shifting ice, the distant roar as a chunk calves into a lagoon. This is the Earth's slow, powerful language. The air is colder, ancient, vibrating with stored time. Walking on the glacier, crampons crunching, you feel its solid, eternal presence, yet know it's a moving river, shaping valleys and fjords. Standing here strips away the noise of modern life, leaving clarity and perspective. The glacier doesn't care about your worries, it simply is. In its presence, you remember your place in the grand, beautiful story of the natural world. Nowhere is Iceland's contrast more striking than where glaciers meet volcanic earth. Brilliant blue and white ice rests on deep black sand, a spectacle that feels otherworldly. At Diamond Beach, icebergs from Breidammerkurjökull float out to sea, then return, sculpted by waves into smooth, jewel-like forms. Sunlight refracts through them, scattering light across the dark shore, a scene of transient, breathtaking beauty. On sunny days, the ice glows. On overcast days, the landscape turns moody and ethereal, mist rolling in to shroud the ice like ghostly apparitions. Each visit offers a new perspective. This dance between ice and sand is a reminder. Iceland is born of fire and shaped by ice. To witness these forces meeting is to see the story of Iceland's creation written in the land. Here, raw power and delicate beauty coexist, as ephemeral ice rests briefly on ancient volcanic sand before melting into the sea. I'll never forget my first steps on a glacier, Sólheimajökull, on Iceland's south coast. The air was crisp, the landscape otherworldly, and the sheer scale of the ice ahead of me was both intimidating and awe-inspiring. I felt a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation as I prepared to set foot on this ancient moving giant. Our guide handed us helmets, harnesses, ice axes, and crampons, and we set out across the rocky moraine. The gear felt heavy in my hands, but it was a reminder of the adventure and the respect this environment demanded. Each step brought us closer to the shimmering blue ice, and the anticipation grew. The first steps on the ice were tentative, crampons crunching reassuringly. I quickly learned to trust the spikes beneath my feet, feeling the glacier's rough, pitted surface through my boots. Every movement required focus, and I became acutely aware of my surroundings. our guide taught us how to walk, pointed out deep crevasses, and explained how the glacier's movement carves the land. He shared stories of explorers and scientists who had studied these icy landscapes, and I realized how much there was to learn from this frozen world. We passed moulins, vertical shafts draining meltwater, and saw layers of volcanic ash trapped in the ice, each a chapter in the glacier's history. The ash told stories of ancient eruptions, preserved for centuries within the ice, a timeline of Iceland's dramatic past. He chipped off a piece of ancient ice for us to taste, pure, cold, and unforgettable. The ice melted on my tongue, a sensation both refreshing and humbling, as if I was tasting a piece of the Earth's memory. Standing in the middle of that immense river of ice, I felt connected to the raw power of the planet. The silence was profound, broken only by the distant sound of water trickling beneath the ice, reminding me that the glacier was alive and always moving. The glacier's slow movement had shaped the valley around us. It had carved out mountains, sculpted the land, and left behind a landscape that felt both ancient and ever-changing. I was a fleeting visitor on a body that measures its life in centuries. My presence was temporary, but the glacier's story stretched back through time and would continue long after I was gone. That walk changed my perspective on nature and my place within it. I left the glacier with a deeper respect for the forces that shape our world, and a sense of wonder that I carry with me still. Jökulsárlón Glacial Lagoon is a place of surreal majesty. Icebergs calved from Breidammerkurjökull float silently in deep, still water. Here, the landscape feels almost otherworldly, as if you've stepped into a dream sculpted by ice and time. The air is crisp and pure, carrying a chill that hints at the ancient origins of these frozen giants. Their colors range from brilliant white to electric blue, some streaked with black volcanic ash. Each iceberg tells a story. Some are smooth and glassy, others jagged and rough, shaped by the forces of nature over centuries. The contrast of colors and textures is mesmerizing, a living gallery of ice art. On my first visit, the lagoon was a perfect mirror, reflecting icebergs and sky. The stillness was profound, broken only by the occasional ripple or the distant call of a bird. It felt as if time itself had paused, allowing me to soak in the serenity of this magical place. Seals popped up between the ice, curious and watchful. Their playful movements brought life to the frozen scene, reminding me that this is a thriving ecosystem, not just a landscape of ice and water. A boat tour brought us close to these floating mountains, their textures and scale breathtaking. Drifting among the icebergs, I felt dwarfed by their size and awed by their silent power. Each turn revealed new shapes and patterns, as if the lagoon was constantly reinventing itself. The lagoon's sounds, gentle water lapping, distant cries of Arctic terns, and the dramatic crack and roll of shifting icebergs create a symphony unique to this place. Every sound echoes the ongoing dance between ice, water, and sky, a reminder of nature's constant motion. As dusk fell, the setting sun painted the ice in pink and gold, and then the northern lights shimmered above, reflected in the water. The sky transformed into a canvas of color and light, making the lagoon feel even more magical and alive. To witness ancient ice and celestial aurora together was pure joy, a gift from the universe. In that moment, I felt deeply connected to the Earth's history and its wonders, grateful to be a witness to such rare beauty. These icebergs are not static. They're in constant change, melting and reshaping before your eyes. Each day brings a new arrangement, a reminder of the impermanence and fragility of this icy world. It's a spectacle of beauty and loss, unforgettable and poignant. Jökulsárlón lingers in your memory long after you leave, a place where the power and poetry of nature are on full display. To understand Iceland, you must understand its glaciers. They're woven into the nation's identity and soul. For centuries, these jökulár have been both life-giving and perilous, shaping rivers, waterfalls, and the Icelandic spirit. This respect for nature is embedded in folklore, where glaciers are characters with their own personalities. Today, Icelanders are leaders in glacier protection and research, with vast national parks and a commitment to conservation. When Ökjökull Glacier was declared dead in 2019, a plaque marked its loss, a powerful message for the future. Guides on the ice are custodians, sharing knowledge and reverence, teaching that walking on a glacier is a privilege. This deep respect is a beautiful souvenir, an appreciation for the delicate balance between humanity and the world of ice. The glaciers are not just scenery, they're a living heritage, To visit is to join a tradition of awe and stewardship. Seeing Iceland's glaciers is magical, but planning is key. Summer, June-August, brings the midnight sun and open roads, perfect for hiking and exploring. For northern lights, visit between September and April, but be ready for short days and unpredictable weather. Winter offers snowy landscapes and accessible ice caves, but requires caution and a four-wheel drive vehicle. Pack layers, thermal underwear, fleece, waterproof shell, sturdy boots, hat, gloves, and scarf. Never walk on a glacier alone. Always book a certified guide for safety. The same goes for ice caves. Only professionals know their risks. Be mindful at places like Jökulsárlón and Diamond Beach. Never stand on an iceberg. Rent a car for freedom, check road conditions daily, and book ahead in peak season. Embrace Iceland's Theta Redist spirit. Plans may change, but that's part of the adventure. Iceland's glaciers seem eternal, but they're vanishing fast. Climate change is a visible, urgent reality here. Guides point to where the ice once reached just a decade ago, underscoring the need for responsibility. As travelers, our duty is to leave a gentle footprint. Choose responsible tour operators, stick to marked paths, and leave no trace. Support local communities by staying in guest houses, eating local, and buying Icelandic crafts, helping those who protect the land. A strong local economy empowers conservation. Beyond Iceland, share the glacier story and make conscious choices to reduce your carbon footprint. The awe you feel should inspire lasting commitment to our fragile planet. The glaciers ask this of us in their silent, melting retreat. Let's answer with action. As my journey ended, I sat on black sand watching glacial ice drift out to sea, tiny jewels, fragments of ancient stories. I felt a deep connection, not just to the scenery, but to the planet and its delicate balance. The glaciers taught me humility, beauty, and the urgency of now. They're living archives, sources of life, and places of profound power. To lose them would be to lose a vital page from our world's story. Their survival is tied to our own. If you can, go and see them. Feel the ancient cold, hear the thunderous crack, stand in the blue light of an ice cave. Let yourself feel small, and find strength in that feeling. If you've been moved, join our community, subscribe for more adventures, and let's work together to protect these wonders. Thank you for traveling with me.